So how do you turn a failure into a success? And I will tell you a little story about what happened to me a couple of weeks ago. I was doing a signing at a large bookstore, a signing for my book. And it was cold out. Not a lot of people were out and about. So basically for 3 hours, it was very quiet and I didn't sell many books. And I felt really bad, but I had nothing to do. So I would instead of twiddling my thumbs, I got on my phone and started looking up what other people in my position thought about this. Were they having the same struggles? And I realized that I was not alone. Yes, they were having the same struggles. But one lady posted that what she got out of this, she did this, and she'd only sold a couple of books. And then she thought, well, there's a festival coming up for fantasy and sci-fi. And she was a fantasy book writer. So she decided, okay, well, I will spend the money and I will buy myself a table at this event and I'll see how I do. And she did very well. She said she sold 20 books, which is awesome. And she wasn't wasting her time trying to attract people. She already had her audience right there. This was her genre, that people were interested in her book because that's the sort of thing they liked. So yes, that was a great idea. So I put that in the back of my head and I decided I'd do that next time. The other thing that happened at my signing is my husband came with me and he took some pictures of me. So that was good too. So what I got out of this, okay, I went home and I was feeling kind of down about it, but I gave it some thought. And you may do the same thing if something you're doing didn't work out the way you thought and you thought it was a failure. Well, you go to bed and you think, oh, well, that was a waste of time. But the next day, think about it. What did I learn from that? What could I do better next time? And so I realized, yeah, maybe I'm wasting my time at book signings, Why don't I find events, find things that are going on in my genre, people who want to read my book, people who are looking for that sort of thing. So I will do that in the spring and the summer, and I will attend those functions instead and see how it goes from there. So I had learned something. Sitting there, twiddling my thumbs, I had figured something out that might work. The other plus was that my husband had taken pictures and he said, well, Wendy, no matter what, we can use these for marketing. And that was true too. So even though I didn't sell a lot of books, I learned something. I examined what I did, what I could have done better. And I decided that sitting in a bookstore on a cold winter day in Calgary was not going to sell my books. I needed to be more specific. I had learned something new, and I would use that information for next time. So that's what I wanted to tell you today. So, yeah, turn it into something positive. Every time you do something, whether it didn't work out or whether it did work out, you can always learn something new. And that's what you should be thinking about. And then your mood will change, and then your mind will open up and you'll start coming up with new ideas. So that's all I got for today. I hope you learned something. And if you like what I have to say, then you can subscribe and check in with me later. Okay? So we will see you on my next video. Bye-bye.